Hi everyone, this is Robert at English 360, and in this podcast I'm going to be talking about something which is important to our society in general. So basically what I'm talking about is the value of a good deed per day. So now, when we talk about how important it is to eat superfoods, there are all kinds of research nowadays which talk about how important superfoods are. For example, if you eat an avocado, it's supposed to help you boost your metabolism. If you eat an apple a day, it kind of keeps the doctors away, unless you are married to a doctor or you're going out with a doctor. In that case, you can't keep your doctor away at all. But as society, oftentimes we only worry about what's good for us and we don't really pay attention to what's good for the other people. What I would like to talk about today is essentially doing one good deed per day, which means you do one thing good, which is good towards other people, and see how that changes your life and the life of other people. So let me give you an example. If you're a student, you go to school and you're very busy with your tests and your studies, you might be saying, what is it that I can do which is good, which is helpful to other people? Well, first of all, a good deed can mean anything. For example, it can mean talking to your parents nicely. It can mean treating your brothers and sisters with respect, being sympathetic to them. If you have a brother or sister, then you can make an effort to see what they are going through. If they are going through troubles, you can sit down with them 5 minutes and listen out. When I was a kid, this is something which never happened. My brothers and sisters were absorbed in their lives and they didn't really have any time for me. If anything, I was left to my own devices. So that didn't really help because I grew up on my own, even though I had a brother and a sister. I can understand how lonely it can feel in a big household, or even in an average household, when you have people around you but no one's actually making a concerted effort to be on your side and to understand what you're going through. And we traverse arduous stages in our lives. We go from being a child to an early teenager and then to an adult, etc. It's fraught with difficulties, and if you don't have anybody you can rely on, then it's a lonely voyage, and you end up making more mistakes. And I think beyond just mistakes, you remember that period of your life that nobody was there for you. So that's one thing you can do, which is going to make a difference to you, because you're going to feel good about yourself and it's going to make a difference to the people around you. So one simple thing is just spend 5 minutes with the people you love and just talk to them. And if you're an adult, let's say you are in your 20s and you're going to university, you're going to college, and you have very little time for anything. So what is it that you can do to make other people's lives better? One good deed per day. What you can do? Well, there are lots of things you can do. First of all, look around you. Do you see happy faces or miserable ones? And the people you see who are happy, are they really happy, or they're just, putting up a bright face, putting on a bright smile on a miserable day? For example, if you have a friend, same thing. Look into their lives. What are they going through? Do they need any help? If you see somebody who needs help, don't just think it's going to take you ages, like forever. It's not. Probably all they need is a pat on the back, and that will do them. How many times have you felt down and you've wanted somebody there just to talk to? So that's how other people feel sometimes. They say 1 is solo, 2 is company, 3 is a crowd, right? So 2 is company, and not the company you work for. It just means it's people around you. And 3 is a crowd. So you want to go heart to heart with someone who's suffering and help them out. Life is full of suffering, actually. Why is it that it's so hard? We don't know. It's like a big test, isn't it? So how well you're able to cope with your pain, with your troubles, and how well you're able to come up trumps, survive. Literally, it's a survival test. Instead, if you're in your 30s, you probably have a family, you have a huge amount of responsibility on your shoulders. So you probably have kids at 30. If you don't, you're probably planning to have kids. So already that's going to change your life big time, trust me. You're going to be thinking like, what happened to my time? What happened to those habits that I used to have? I used to go to the gym, work out, have plenty of time on my hand. What happened to all that time? Well, it disappears. It just disappears. And before you know it, you're literally ticking like a clock. It's non-stop. As you get a family, you do have a lot of responsibility, and that means that one good deed can be helping out your kids, helping out your spouse, could be a wife or a husband, or just simply looking after yourself. A good deed could also be looking after yourself, because then you're able to look after other people. So when you wake up and you drink your glass of water because doctors told you to hydrate, also think about your psychological well-being, your mental state, are you feeling well? Is there any overlap from yesterday? Are you feeling down? If you're down, then you need to talk about it. You need to talk about it with someone. And if you need a break, you need to take that break, because you need to look after yourself and be good and feel good. Because if you're not feeling good, people around you will suffer. And I can tell you that from my personal experience. Yeah. I'm the kind of person who can get into a bit of a mood. I can get broody, and that's not good, because people around you then don't know how to deal with you. And the best way I found was to get out there and talk to someone. That was the best way. Oftentimes you'll just try to solve these problems by yourself. That doesn't always work, and if it doesn't work, then do talk to someone. Also, if you're thinking of doing one good deed, think about people who are homeless on the streets, people who are begging, and people who are 1,000 miles away, suffering in terrible parts of the world. From Middle East, there's Yemen, there's famine there, and a lot of other African countries are suffering as well. So if you have a little bit of money, do give it in charity, because it will make you feel good about yourself, and you'll realize that looking after number one is important, but also doing something for the other people is. I don't want this to be a lecture. I want to share my own experience, because I suffered from what I believe was a mental health issue for quite a while without actually recognizing it. I realized that the best way to deal with it was to come out and actually take part socially in the city where I live, and to become socially active where I live. That doesn't mean that I'm out there volunteering every day, but it does mean that I've got an eye open for people around me, and whenever I see somebody who's in distress, I do try to make an effort to do something about it. Yeah. If everybody did one good thing during their day, it would make a lot of difference to people. So when you wake up the next day, just ask yourself, what did I do yesterday which was good for the society I live in, which was good for the other people? If I did something, what was it? Can I replicate that? Can I do a bit more? This is what I believe we should do, because it can make a big difference to our lives, and it can make us feel happy about ourselves and help other people. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you did, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and peace.